it will be then used to transfer ownership over natural resources, over land, over rivers, over ecosystems, over the biodiversity functions of biodiversity, the ability of a leaf to convert carbon dioxide into carbohydrates, the molecule of life, and oxygen, the breath of life. So we are on a very important threshold, and your community, being a multi-faith community, has so much to contribute. Farming is not new. You know, Australian Aborigines people have been farming for 60,000 years without hurting the earth. Indian farming, Chinese farming. There's a book written by an American agricultural scientist. He called us farmers of 40 centuries. And anything that's done right can last that long. It's only industrial agriculture based on fossil fuels and chemicals made from fossil fuels that has destroyed ecosystems within a decade. Punjab was destroyed in a decade. And globally, the most significant ecological catastrophes are related to the industrial food system. But there's a very sad phenomena of a colonizing mind that does not see anything outside its own scope. So, for example, yes, we know industrial agriculture is responsible for 50% of the greenhouse gases that are driving climate change. I've got a book on this called Soil Not Oil. 75% of the desertification and destruction of soil, of water, is related to an industrial farming system. And my book, Who Really Feeds the World, has all the data on this degradation and destruction. On biodiversity, when the Plant Genetic Resources Conference took place under the FAO in 1995, the governments had reported that because of industrial agriculture, 75% of the biodiversity in agriculture had gone. This was 1995. Today, it's more than 90% disappearance. We have stopped eating 10,000 species of crops, with many species having lots of diversity. Rice in India, the peasants evolved 200,000 varieties. The Mexicans evolved 150,000 varieties of maize. This brilliance of breeding is science, but it's a science that works according to the laws of life, recognizing that every living being, from a plant to an animal to an insect to an earthworm, are sentient beings, and they must be taken care of. They cannot be pushed to extermination. So as Albert Howard, who was sent to India in 1905 as an imperial botanist to improve Indian agriculture, he was a good scientist. He arrived and found the soils were fertile, found lots of insects, no pests. He said, I'm going to make the peasant and the pest my professors. He wrote a book called The Agricultural Testament, which is called the Bible of modern farming, or modern organic farming. Do read it, because it is the other system that we don't need Agra. This is a well worked out system of thousands of years. And Howard says all the great agricultural systems that have survived have made it their business never to deplete the earth of its fertility without at the same time beginning the process of restoration. This is agroecology. This is regenerative agriculture. Give it any name you want to. Give it natural farming, organic farming. Too many contests have been created around words and names, when what we should be looking at is processes and principles. The two processes of all ecological agriculture that are violated by industrial agriculture are, first, biodiversity. Nature does not work in monocultures and uniformity. Nature never creates uniformity. Every blade of grass is unique. Every leaf on a tree is unique, even though every leaf on a particular species have the same pattern. And this is what quantum theory recognizes as enfoldment, and biological sciences now recognize as self-organization. The fact that in the system is built the patterns towards which it will evolve, down to the tiniest detail of the shape of a plant, the shape of a leaf, the way it'll branch out. And as far as I'm concerned, nature's most sophisticated technology is the green leaf, which can harvest the sunlight. It can convert the carbon dioxide and give us food and give us breath. And most people don't realize that the earth used to be 290 degrees. It used to be 98% carbon dioxide. And it's the leaves and the plants and photosynthesis that made this planet livable for humanity. And our duty is to keep it livable by working according to the earth systems. In a few decades, thousands of years, we did not spoil the earth. In a few decades, because it's only post-war that the chemicals started to spread. And in India, it came in the 60s. To Africa, it's come with the Green Revolution, very recent. But in this very short period, industrial agriculture has displaced diversity, created monocultures, displaced the technologies of care, and replaced it with careless technologies, spraying poisons, throwing urea, spraying glyphosate to kill the plants. When I used to be at the negotiations of the Convention on Biological Diversity, it was unbelievable. The US government used to always sit with Monsanto, and the Monsanto representative got up and said, Roundup resistant GMOs are so smart, they prevent the weeds from stealing the sunshine, as if the sun was meant to only shine on the Roundup Ready soya patented by Monsanto. We've had an inefficient use of the sunlight, the maximum. Our work in Navdanya, and I hope some of you will at some point come, we have an October course, A to Z, of living with the earth, return to the earth, where we share everything we've learned about the seed, living soil, living food, living economies. You can go to the website of Navdanya, navdanya.org, to see the details of the courses we offer. But I realize that it's the maximizing of photosynthesis and maximizing of biodiversity that is true food production. And our research has shown that when you maximize biodiversity, you produce more nutrition per acre. We don't look at yield per acre. Yield merely measures a commodity that left a farm. It doesn't find out whether the commodity went to be turned into biofuel to drive a car, or it went to torture animals in a factory farm. So there's so much now debate on the whole issue of animals, and I want to turn to it particularly because of your role. Industrial agriculture first turned crops into monocultures, but worse, it separated animals from plants. And again, as Albert Howard says, never does nature separate the animal and vegetable worlds. This is a mistake she cannot endure. And of all the errors that modern industrial agriculture has committed, the abandonment of mixed husbandry has been the most fatal. Mixed husbandry is trees, animals, livestock, and annual crops growing together. They support each other. I've done so much research on how the output of one is the input of the other, and these are permanent cycles of regeneration and renewal. When you grow GM soybean in the forests, what you've basically done is emit 20% of the greenhouse gases, but you've also created the infectious diseases and the new pandemics. The forests are the homes of indigenous people. Forests are the homes of our other relatives, of brothers and sisters, as St. Francis of Assisi always called other species. The 50%, 20%, 20% adds up from turning good food into trash. And because we've created such an energy-intensive food system where you use 10 units of energy to produce 1 unit of bad food, when you can ecologically use 1 unit of energy to produce 10 units of good food to create abundance and food for all, there needs to be no hunger. Zero hunger is totally achievable. And now, instead of recognizing that factory farming, intensive monoculture, soybean cultivation, these are the reasons there's pollution. These are the reasons there's methane. You go past a concentrated animal operation and you get a sting. You go past a free-range cow, the Maasai cows in the Masai Mara. There's no stink. I grew up, this place, this is now my office. My mother gifted it to me, but it was used to be her cow shed. We used to play with the cows and it never had a stink. The stink is methane that comes from waste dumps, landfills. Mr. Gates, again, in this book of his, How to Deal with a Climate Catastrophe, actually has the unscientific statement But when billionaires decide what science, he can say anything. He basically says it's the four stomachs of the herbivores, of the cows, of the sheep, of the goats. That is the reason there's methane. So kill them all, And I'm not joking when I say this. The industry has marked the death of 1 million sheep in Ireland. These are free range on the grasses. These are not factory. Of course, in the Netherlands, there is factory farming, but this was forced through the cap subsidies. Farmers didn't choose to put all their animals in concentrated operations. Now they're being told to basically destroy half of their herds. And when I was talking to Francesca, I was saying our movement now has to really be for the love of all creation. It has to be for protecting the sheep. After all, Jesus was a shepherd and he loved all his sheep. How can we allow sheep to be killed and culled on a false claim that they are responsible? We know 1% of the rich is leading to 50% of the pollution of the planet in terms of greenhouse gases. That 1% is now blaming our cows and sheep. Today is the birth anniversary of Krishna. It's called Janmashtami. Just like, Christ was a shepherd, Krishna was a cowherd. And his whole life is around cows and milk and butter. So I greeted everyone. So I greet all of you. Happy Janmashtami today. And let us all speak from our faiths to challenge this fake religion of a pseudoscience and violent technologies. Because this is now a life and death issue for humanity. Our cultures did not contribute to species extinction. Our cultures did not contribute to climate change. We are the worst victims. So I would like to share with you that every year since the 90s, when they started to patent seed, when they started to unleash GMOs, I started to celebrate a fortnight of action from 2nd of October, which is Gandhi's birth anniversary. And we want to thank South Africa for making Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi the Mahatma, because that's where he practiced his satyagraha. His first satyagraha was in South Africa against racism. And from 2nd October, we celebrate all the way to 16th October, which is World Food Day, reclaiming our bread and our freedom. And now with the challenges going as intense as they are, our bread has to be reclaimed as sacrament. In all of our cultures, in India, we give prasad. The Catholics have the sacrament. Everywhere, bread is a sacred sacrament. We must reclaim it in its sanctity. And we must derive from the power of sacred food and the power of sacred earth, the power to protect life on earth and our future. I just want to share with you that 2nd October, as I said, is the day of Satyagraha, started with Gandhi's Satyagraha in South Africa. Very important this year, 4th of October is Animal Welfare Day. Now, this is not a neutral kind of welfare day. It is the feast of San Francisco, of the Francis of Assisi, who was a patron saint of animals. And he always called other species my brothers and my sisters. I'm very happy that I'll be going to Assisi for the economy of Francisco. There's a whole process that has been started by young people who want to reclaim an economy of care, an economy of living as one earth family. 5th October is Teachers' Day. And for me, nature has been teachers, plants have been teachers, animals have been teachers, earthworms have been teachers. Let us widen our learning to create a future. 7th October, World Cotton Day. The BT cotton has devastated my country as it has devastated so many countries. But the World Cotton Day was created by the African countries that are cotton growers. 15th October is Rural Women's Day. And so much of our work in Navdanya is with women, because women are the ones who take care of the seed, who grow the food, and most farmers of the world in Africa, in India, are women. So let us celebrate the future of food through the knowledge of women, the care of women, the love of women. And finally, 16th October, World Food Day, should become the day of reclaiming our bread and our freedom. And I know Africa has a very big role to play in this, and all the faiths together will be the power. How can we let 4-5 billionaires, just because they made money, drive the planet to total devastation? We should reclaim our knowledge, our heads, our hearts, our love and care, and the work with our hands, because our world is not a fossil world. Our world is a world of bodily energy. Thank you.